The full rundown for Honda R200 and Tyro Mini, a split grid, 6 Hondas and 7 Tyros, says Jake with the grids.
Archie Ray Watson and Thomas Harper on the front row of the grid for the R200s. Matthew Plant and Rebecca Restall next up. Then Hallie Findlater and Lewis Dean. In the Tyro Minis, Hayden Adams has the front row of the grid with Zane Perry. Then Issy Wykes and Hayden Burling to round up the top 10 overall, the second row in Tyro Mini. Tom Mayo, Lola Flatley and Chris Mayo finish off the 7 Tyro Minis. So, as always, R200s and Tyro Minis are in 2 separate grids down the main straight on rolling start. They're quite close together, but they are fairly similarly paced, so that's okay. Off we go! R200s kick off, and it's the gorgeous silk cut style Jaguar livery in that particular kart that charges the way forward once again for Thomas Harper, getting a better start than Archie Ray Watson. So there was a bit of contact further back in the Tyro Minis, wasn't there? It got a little bit heated there between Hayden Adams and I think Issy Wykes getting a little bit too close, but certainly Hayden Adams, who was initially the leader going through the first couple of corners, definitely now on the back foot. So there's already a little bit of melee in the first couple of corners, but out in front, it is that gorgeous livery that leads us around the course in the famous Jaguar Le Mans colours. Thomas Harper making a great start, managing to overhaul Archie Ray Watson off the line, and the O-play in the vintage Le Mans Jaguar colours looking so great. I love it when kids and dads do this. It's not just about being great racers and enjoying your sport as competitors, but it's a tribute, a nod to the past of the sport, how much you love the sport as a passionate petrol head. And Harper's really having to work hard here to hold off Watson. Matthew Plant's taking advantage. The door was left open. Matthew Plant says, thanks very much, I'll take it.
Archie Ray Watson there pictured, the man from Newport Pagnell. And 2 classes, as I said before, on track at the same time, but we've got 2 distinct races. Difficult to keep a track of what's going on in both of them.
Matthew Plant's going for the lead. Oh, brilliant. He's gone from 3rd to 1st in half a lap, and here comes Archie Ray Watson back on the inside of the O-Blade, who hangs on for dear life. Thomas Harper not about to lose 2nd place if he can help it, but he's cost himself some time and the place in order to be that defensive. That's put Rebecca Restall back on the tail end of him as well. So now we've got Thomas Harper all the way down to 3rd position. Plant leads, Watson 2nd, Harper 3rd and Restall 4th.
And then in the Tyro Mini class, we've got Zane Perry leading currently on the 25 from Hayden Adams. But 2 distinct races going on track at the same time in a short 10-minute sprint race, basically. Difficult to keep a track of everything that's going on all over the place, but we'll do our best.
This is the battle behind the top 3. This is 4th place, Rebecca Restall versus Lewis Dean, and then Hallie Findlater. So they're actually very evenly matched in Honda R200, aren't they? They're still fairly close together, and it's likely to be a very nail-biting battle at the top end of R200. I thought it was going to be a straight fight between Watson and Harper, but their dueling has brought Matthew Plant right into it and round the outside. No way! Archie Ray Watson holds his nerve around the outside of Buttons and thinks, right, well, if you're going to dilly-dally on the inside line, I'll drive right around the outside of you. Again, and yet again in Tyro. We saw it in the juniors, and now we see it in the R200s race ahead of the minis. But that's the 2nd class today after the Tyro Junior race, now in Honda R200s, where we see an audacious, almost impossible move at Buttons right before our very eyes.
Fantastic racing in this class. Honda R200s delivering action as they typically do. It's a very competitive class. The Honda 160 used to be the most popular Honda engine, but these 200s have rapidly superseded those, I think, Jake.
Yes, indeed. Thomas Harper now the fastest man on track, 39.5s all the way through. Archie Ray Watson, though, the confidence of that move on the previous lap, giving him the fastest lap of the race now, 39.313. Honestly, at this age, when you pull off a move like that, as sweet as that for everybody to see, you have no idea that confidence boost. It's like a shot in the arm that you get. You go, right, that's how good I can be. Right, I'm going to keep racing like that then. Hayden Adams, leader in Tyro Mini, in front of Zane Perry. Then Issy Wykes in 3rd, trying to hang on in front of Tom Mayo. Bit of an issue for Hayden Burling. He was up in 3rd position, but all of a sudden, Hayden Burling has now dropped back. So clearly something that we didn't see. It's difficult to keep on top of 2 races going on simultaneously, of course. There is Rebecca Restall and Lewis Dean, and there is Hallie Findlater. Back to the leaders in Tyro Mini, and it's Hayden Adams versus Zane Perry. And Zane Perry definitely getting very feisty in here behind Hayden Adams.
Yeah, it's all going on all over the track, but these 2 battling in the Tyro Mini. as they come out of the S's, down to Hans hairpin one more time. This is the Tyro Mini battle for the lead.
Run wide, run wide. This could be the chance now for Zane Perry. He draws level with Hayden Adams, who has to protect the inside line. Now for the switcheroo. That's how to make the move happen, but Hayden Adams is resisting as they go through buttons. Oh, brilliant racecraft between both of them.
Back with the Honda class, Archie Ray Watson has set the fastest lap of the race on the last tour. And he is out front now from Matthew Plant and Thomas Harper. So these three, a little bit of a gap between them now, but it's still competitive.
And it's also important for the two behind to do well in their own battle, Rebecca Restall and Lewis Dean. Either of these guys gets a penalty for a front fairing, they suddenly get on the podium, so they have to stay strong and they have to make sure they outfox their competitor. Meanwhile, in the Tyro Mini class, this is for fourth position. This is Tom Mayo ahead of Hayden Burling, who's now in P5 in the O-Plate, who was right up in the top three, and then Lola Flatley trying to stay with him. So it's definitely all change in Tyro Mini. Back with the Honda R200s up front, and then it's Watson, Plant, Harper. Matthew Plant really has thrown a bit of a curveball into this mix, hasn't he, with that fantastic move earlier on, and it's changed the face of this battle. And there is Hallie Finlater in sixth position, closing up on Restall. Dean goes up the inside. Lewis Dean trying to take fourth place away from Rebecca Restall in R200, and it looks to me as though Dean might have done it. Here's the move again from Thomas Harper. Dives in on Matthew Plant. Drifts a little bit wide. He carried a lot of speed, but it almost just seems as though Matthew Plant may have had a little bit of an issue there. Did he just get it wrong on the throttle, getting back off a turn or something, because he's lost a lot of momentum suddenly, and Thomas Harper has popped back into P2.
And Archie Ray Watson clearing off in that race, frankly. Here's some more Tyro Minis.
They've got to close up on Lola Flatley and get through cleanly. Meanwhile, this battle for the lead in Tyro Mini is still going strong, and Hayden Adams is really resisting Zane Perry as much as he can. Down the back straight, up to Hans. See, he doesn't want to take the big gamble here at the inside. He wants to hope that there's another run wide from Hayden Adams. There isn't on this occasion. So Zane Perry knows he can get ahead. He's just got to time it right. Here's another move. Lewis Dean trying to get back ahead of Rebecca Restall. So Restall is giving as good as she's got. She's not just pushing over and letting Lewis Dean have it. She's fighting back with gusto. Hallie Finlater still there in sixth position as well, just trying to stay with them. Here is the Honda R200 class going through the traffic, and that's enough for Matthew Plant to take second place back from Thomas Harper. Harper wheel to wheel with him, trying to get a nose in front, but the next corner is a left-hander, and he's trying to go right round the outside. No way! Oh, brilliant from Thomas Harper. Any other driver would have surrendered that and gone, do you know what? I'm not sure I can stick my nose in there. Yes, I can. Thomas Harper hangs on in, and despite running wide at the final turn, Plant can't overhaul him. This is brilliant from Harper.
Great racing action going on in this class.
Runs wide again. Is Plant going to dive in the inside? No, he can't get there. This is terrific stuff.
Great racing all over the track. Two classes, as I say, going on at the same time, trying to bring you all the action. And here's the mini class battle for the lead again. It's all kicking off.
Is that Perry going for it? Has he got it? He has! He edges Hayden Adams into the run wide through the chicane. Nothing he could do but just surrender it. And Zane Perry's efforts finally pay off, and he pulls off an absolute stormer to take the lead away in the Tyro Mini category. R200 still out front, doing a great job. Thomas Harper, though, took so long to get ahead of Matthew Plant that Archie Ray Watson is a full 30 kart lengths ahead now, I would say, and that is pretty much a slam dunk for the victory.
Archie Ray Watson well clear in the R200 class. Again, we're back with the minis.
This isn't done yet, is it?
No. they are battling as they come through Billy's blind, and then through the S's here onto the straight down to Hans hairpin. This is a great overtaking opportunity, but the man in front, Zane Perry, is not giving anything away.
Yeah, he was glued to the inside line, wasn't he? He was like a frustrated Rover MG driver on the highway. No way am I going to concede the middle lane. And he was working hard to hold them up. Right, this is going to be a tough one for Plant to pull off, but he's got a bit of momentum. Harper hops over the curbs. It's a little bit scrappier than Matthew Plant. But Plant doesn't have the momentum, that's the thing, so it's stalemate between the two. Right, back to Perry versus Adams. And Zane Perry is absolutely glued to the inside line. He would be a frustrated Lego builder, because once he built the set, he'd just glue it down. He wouldn't want anything to move. And that's exactly where Hayden Adams can try and crack him. So here again, that battle for second place. The win is gone. Archie Ray Watson is way too far. There he is, going through with the Alonso tribute helmet colours that Archie Ray Watson carries. And out in front, oh, that's a big mistake from Thomas Harper. It left the door wide open. And on momentum alone, Plant is going to get straight back on him. Might get a chance into Hans Hairpin this time by. Try not to give too much away. This is the battle between Rebecca Restel and Lewis Dean. Desperately trying not to trip over Lola Flatley, who receives the blue flag. Get out of the way without causing issues. And they go either side of her. They pull off a Schumacher Hakkinen on the very startled Lola Flatley. That was like Spa in karting.
Yeah, Lola in the Tyro mini class, of course. The R200s are slightly quicker karts, but not much between them, but they are slightly quicker.
No way! Hayden Adams is going to run right round the outside on the gauntlet. That's amazing! And manages to snatch it back from Zane Perry. And they've got 1 lap to go when they cross the line this time by. Hayden Adams and Zane Perry going at it hammer and tongs in the Tyro Mini final. But in the last lap, we've got Rebecca Restel and Lewis Dean scrapping over 4th place in R200. And side by side for 2nd. Harper and Plant are still going at it. Matthew Plant has got 1 last trick in the book, as out in front, Archie Ray Watson has cleaned up and taken the victory already. He comes through to cross the line. Harper's going to grab 2nd in front of Matthew Plant. Brilliant. But where is the battle for the victory in Tyro Mini? It's another run wide. Adams and Perry are still locking swords. This is terrific stuff. We've got to wait to see who's going to come across the line first. Restel hangs on from Dean. There's Finlater, and they're going to be side by side as they come across the line. Perry, Adams, drag race, and it's Perry! Zane Perry hangs it out in front of Hayden Adams. What a duel! They were side by side for most of the last lap. Archie Ray Watson dominates in the end from Matthew Plant as Thomas Harper picks up a tragic penalty that drops him back to 3rd. Rebecca Restel and Lewis Dean 4th and 5th, and Hallie Finlater was in the same ballpark as Restel and Dean all the way to the flag. In Tyro Mini, it goes down to the wire and Zane Perry hangs on from Hayden Adams. Issy Wykes a very deserved 3rd place from Hayden Burling, Tom Mayo and Lola Flatley, with Chris Mayo sadly unable to make the flag. But very worthy victors in Archie Ray Watson and Zane Perry. 2 for the price of 1 here at Clay Pigeon. In the championship points mark in Honda R200, Thomas Harper has 822 ahead of the absent Ayrton Ray. Lewis Dean up to 3rd position after his brilliant battle with Rebecca Restel. Max Flatley still leading Tyro Mini after a difficult weekend though. Hayden Adams has definitely closed the gap a bit, but it's still a sizable advantage. Issy Wykes in 3rd at present.